Achievement. Something good you succeed in doing. Advisor. A person who gives advice. Advantage. Something that helps you do better. Advisor. A person who gives advice. Adventure. An exciting or unusual experience. Agriculture. The work of growing crops and raising animals. Airline. A company that flies people by plane. Alley. A narrow street or path between buildings. Almond. A small oval nut. Alphabet. The letters used in a language. Amazement. A feeling of great surprise. Ambassador. A person who represents a country. Ambition. A strong wish to succeed. Ambulance. A vehicle that takes sick people to a hospital. Angel. A kind spirit from heaven. Announcement. Something said or written to give news. Appeal. A strong request for help or support. Apron. A cloth worn to keep clothes clean. Arrest. The act of taking someone by law. Ash. Soft grey powder left after burning. Assistant. A person who helps someone. Athlete. A person who plays sports. Attitude. The way someone thinks or feels. Audience. People who watch or listen. Auto. A car. Award. A prize for doing well. Automobile. A car or motor vehicle. Background. The part behind the main thing. Avenue. A wide street. Bacon. Thin strips of smoked meat. Bacteria. Tiny living things that can cause disease. Baggage. Bags and suitcases for travel. Bait. Food used to catch fish or animals. Bamboo. A tall plant with hard hollow stems. Bang. A sudden loud noise. Banker. A person who works in a bank. Barn. A farm building for animals or crops. Bay. A part of the sea partly surrounded by land. Barrel. A large round container. Bead. A small round piece for jewelry. Basement. A room below the ground floor. Beam. A long strong piece of wood or metal. Beast. A large or wild animal. Beetle. An insect with hard wings. Benefit. Something helpful or good. Berry. A small soft fruit. Bet. Money risked on a guess. Blouse. A shirt worn by women or girls. Bomb. A weapon that explodes. Bookcase. A piece of furniture for books. Boot. A strong shoe that covers the ankle. Bore. A dull or boring person or thing. Bowling. A game of rolling a ball at pins. Brake. A part that slows or stops a vehicle. Brass. A yellow metal made from copper and zinc. Bravery. Courage in a difficult or dangerous situation. Breast. The front part of the chest. Breath. The air taken in or sent out when breathing. Breeze. A light gentle wind. Brick. A hard block used for building. Bride. A woman getting married. Broadcast. A radio or TV program sent to people. Brunch. A meal between breakfast and lunch. Bubble. A thin round ball of air or gas. Bucket. A deep container with a handle. Bud. A small new part of a plant that will open. Budget. A plan for spending money. Bulb. The round part of a plant or light. Buffalo. A large wild animal like a cow. Bull. A male cow. Buffet. A meal where people serve themselves. Bullet. A small metal object shot from a gun. Bump. A small raised area or hit. Bunch. A group of things together. Bundle. Things tied or wrapped together. Bush. A low plant with many branches. Buzz. A low humming sound. Cabin. A small simple house or room. Cable. A thick wire or rope. Cafeteria. A place where people choose and eat food. Campus. The land and buildings of a school. Canyon. A deep valley with steep sides. Captain. A person who leads a ship, team, or group. Capture. The act of catching or taking control. Career. A job or work path in life. Carpenter. A person who builds things with wood. Carpet. A thick soft floor covering. Carriage. A vehicle pulled by a horse. Cart. A small vehicle for carrying things. Cast. The actors in a play or movie. Cattle. Cows and bulls kept on a farm. Cave. A large hole in the side of a hill or under the ground. Champion. A person or team that wins first place. Charm. A small object worn for luck or beauty. Chat. A friendly talk. Cheek. The side of the face below the eye. Cherry. A small round red fruit. Chest. The front part of the body between the neck and stomach. Chill. A cold feeling. Chimney. A pipe that lets smoke out of a building. Chin. The lower part of the face below the mouth. Chip. A small broken piece of something. Chop. A small piece of meat with a bone. Cigarette. A small paper tube for smoking tobacco. Cinema. A place where people watch movies. Circus. A show with clowns, animals, and acrobats. Citizen. A person who belongs to a country. Clay. Soft earth used for making pots or bricks. Cleaner. A person or thing that cleans. Client. A person who uses a service. Clinic. A place where people get medical care. Clip. A small thing used to hold items together. Closet. A small space for storing clothes. Clown. A funny performer with makeup and costumes. Clue. A piece of information that helps solve a mystery. Coach. A person who trains a team or player. Cock. A male chicken. Cocktail. A mixed drink. Coconut. A large hard fruit with white flesh inside. Collar. The part of clothing around the neck. Collection. A group of things gathered together. Colony. A group of people or animals living together. Column. A tall upright post or a list in a table. Comfort. A feeling of ease or relief. Comma. A punctuation mark used to separate words. Committee. A group of people chosen to do a job. Comparison. Looking at things to see how they are alike or different. Complaint. A statement saying something is wrong. Concert. A music show. Conclusion. The end or final idea. Cone. A shape with a round base and pointed top. Constant. Something that does not change. Continent. A very large area of land. Controller. A device or person that controls something. Cooker. A machine or pot used for cooking. Cotton. Soft white fiber used to make cloth. Cough. A sudden push of air from the throat. County. An area of a country with its own local government. Crab. A sea animal with a hard shell and claws. Cradle. A small bed for a baby. Crane. A tall machine used for lifting heavy things. Crash. A loud accident or collision. Crawl. A slow movement on hands and knees. Creator. A person who makes something. Creature. A living animal or being. Credit. Praise or money borrowed to pay later. Crew. A group of people working together. Cricket. A jumping insect or a bat and ball game. Criminal. A person who breaks the law. Crop. Plants grown for food or use. Crown. A special headpiece worn by a king or queen. Cupboard. A cabinet for storing things. Dairy. Milk foods or a place that makes them. Dam. A wall that holds back water. Darling. A person who is loved very much. Dash. A quick run or a small mark. Database. A large organized set of information. Dawn. The time when the sun begins to rise. Dealer. A person or business that sells things. Decade. A period of 10 years. Deck. A flat outdoor floor or a set of cards. Decrease. A drop or becoming less. Deed. An action, especially a good or brave one. Definition. The meaning of a word. Democracy. A system where people choose their leaders. Deposit. Money paid first or put into a bank. Designer. A person who plans how something looks. Desire. A strong wish for something. Dessert. Sweet food eaten after a meal. Devil. An evil spirit. Dime. A coin worth 10 cents. Dinosaur. A large ancient animal. Dip. A sauce for putting food into. Dirt. Loose earth or soil. Disc. A flat round object. Discount. A lower price than usual. Disk. A flat round object or computer storage. Dislike. A feeling of not liking something. Ditch. A long narrow hole in the ground. Dive. A jump or swim into water. Dock. A place where boats stop. Dolphin. A smart sea animal. Donkey. An animal like a small horse. Dose. An amount of medicine to take. Donut. A sweet round cake with a hole. Downtown. The main business part of a city. Drag. The act of pulling something along. Dragonfly. An insect with a long body and clear wings. Drain. A pipe or hole that carries water away. Drip. A small drop of liquid falling. Drugstore. A shop that sells medicine and daily goods. Drunk. A person who has drunk too much alcohol. Dump. A place where waste is left. Dumpling. A small ball of dough with filling. Dust. Fine dry powder on surfaces. Echo. A sound that repeats back. Editor. A person who checks and prepares writing. Elbow. The joint in the middle of the arm. Election. A time when people vote to choose a leader. Electricity. Power used to make lights and machines work. Element. A basic part of something. Elevator. A machine that carries people up and down floors. Emergency. A sudden serious problem needing quick help. Emperor. A ruler of an empire. Engagement. An agreement to marry or take part. Entry. The act of going in or a written item. Envy. A wish to have what someone else has. Excellence. The quality of being very good. Exchange. The act of giving and receiving things. Exhibition. A public show of art or objects. Expectation. A belief about what will happen. Experiment. A test done to learn something. Export. A product sent to another country. Extreme. The highest or greatest level. Faint. A short loss of consciousness. Fairy. A small magical being. Faith. Strong belief or trust in someone or something. Fake. Something that is not real. Fancy. A liking or wish for something. Fare. Money paid for a ride. Faucet. A tap where water comes out. Feather. A light soft part covering a bird. Fence. A structure that goes around an area. Fighter. A person who fights. Firework. A small object that makes bright lights or loud sounds. Fist. A hand closed tightly. Flame. The bright burning part of a fire. Flash. A sudden bright light. Flashlight. A small portable light. Flavor. The taste of food or drink. Flesh. The soft part of a body under the skin. Float. A thing that stays on top of water. Flock. A group of birds or sheep. Flood. A large amount of water covering land. Flour. Soft powder used for making bread or cakes. Flute. A musical instrument you blow across. Fold. A bend or crease in something. Follower. A person who supports or follows someone. Fortune. Great luck or a large amount of money. Fountain. A place where water sprays up. Freeze. A time when things become very cold or icy. Freezer. A machine that keeps food frozen. Fright. A sudden feeling of fear. Fuel. Material used to make heat or power. Fund. Money saved or collected for a purpose. Fur. Soft thick hair covering an animal. Gallon. A unit for measuring liquid. Gamble. A risky bet for money. Gang. A group of people together. Gap. An empty space between things. Garage. A building for keeping a car. Gas. Fuel or air-like matter. Gasoline. Fuel used in cars and engines. Glance. A quick look. Geography. The study of Earth's land and places. Glory. Great honor or praise. Gesture. A movement that shows an idea or feeling. Glow. A soft, steady light. Golf. A game of hitting a small ball into holes. Gossip. Talk about other people's private lives. Governor. A person who leads a state or region. Grab. A quick act of taking hold of something. Graduate. A person who has finished school. Grasp. A firm hold or understanding. Grasshopper. A jumping insect with long back legs. Grocery. Food and other things bought at a store. Greenhouse. A glass building for growing plants. Guidance. Help or advice about what to do. Grin. A big smile. Gum. A sticky sweet thing to chew. Hairdresser. A person who cuts or styles hair. Handful. The amount a hand can hold. Hallway. A passage inside a building. Handkerchief. A small cloth for wiping the nose or face. Hammer. A tool used to hit nails. Hanger. A frame used to hang clothes. Harbor. A safe place where boats stay. Hatch. An opening or the act of coming out of an egg. Harm. Hurt or damage. Hay. Dried grass used to feed animals. Harvest. Crops gathered from a field. Headline. The title of a news story. Headquarters. The main office of a group or company. Heap. A pile of things. Heater. A machine that makes a place warm. Heel. The back part of the foot or shoe. Hell. A place of great suffering or evil. Helmet. A hard hat that protects the head. Hint. A small clue or suggestion. Holder. A thing or person that holds something. Hire. The act of paying someone to work. Hollow. An empty space inside something. Historian. A person who studies history. Hometown. The town where someone is from. Honesty. The quality of telling the truth. Honor. Great respect or good name. Horn. A hard-pointed part on an animal's head. Horror. A strong feeling of fear. Housekeeper. A person who cleans and cares for a house. Hug. The act of holding someone close. Humor. The quality of being funny. Import. A product brought from another country. Imagination. The ability to think of new ideas or pictures. Hut. A small, simple house. Hunger. The need or wish for food. Inferior. A person or thing that is lower in rank or quality. Information. Facts or knowledge about something. Injury. Harm or damage to the body. Inn. A small place where travelers can stay. Inspector. A person who checks things carefully. Inventor. A person who creates something new. Invitation. A request to come to an event. Ivory. Hard white material from animal tusks. Jail. A place where prisoners are kept. Jar. A glass container with a lid. Jaw. The bone that holds the teeth. Jazz. A style of music with lively rhythms. Jeep. A strong vehicle used on rough roads. Jelly. A soft sweet food that shakes. Jewelry. Things worn for beauty, like rings or necklaces. Jet. A fast airplane. Journey. A trip from one place to another. Jewel. A precious stone. Jungle. A thick forest in a hot place. Junior. A younger or lower ranking person. Junk. old or useless things. Kangaroo, an Australian animal that jumps. Keyboard, a set of keys for typing or music. Kidney, an organ that cleans blood. Kilometer, a unit for measuring distance. Kindergarten, a school class for young children. Kingdom, a country ruled by a king or queen. Kit, a set of tools or things for a purpose. Knight, a soldier with armor in old times. Knit, cloth made by looping yarn together. Knot, a tight loop in string or rope. Koala, an Australian animal that lives in trees. Ladder, a tool with steps for climbing. Label, a small tag that gives information. Laughter, the sound of laughing. Lace, a string used to tie shoes. Laundry, clothes that need washing or are washed. Lawn, an area of short grass near a house. Leak, a hole where liquid or gas escapes. Leap, a big jump. Learning, the act of gaining knowledge or skills. Leather, material made from animal skin. Leisure, free time for rest or fun. Lemonade, a sweet drink made from lemons. Liberty, freedom to live or act freely. Leopard, a large wild cat with spots. Lick, a touch with the tongue. Lettuce, a leafy green vegetable. Lifetime, the time a person or thing lives. Lighthouse, a tall tower with a light to guide ships. Lightning, a bright flash of electricity in the sky. Lily, a large pretty flower. Limb, an arm, leg, or large tree branch. Litter, trash left on the ground. Loaf, bread shaped as one whole piece.